Hello, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome, welcome to another AMA. Watchers, hey, how's it going? Humanity, welcome in. Hello, hello. I'm a little bit backlit because I've got my blinds open right now because I have my window cracked open too because it's raining and I like it. It's the soft rain that we talked about yesterday. Hi, Ken. Thank you for the 250 bits. I don't even have like Minecraft open. It's just kind of there. It would be useful probably to go put myself AFK somewhere. Of course, now my voice is giving out on me. It was fine for like the first hour or so that I was awake this morning. I've been trying to drink a lot of water. But yes, it's just a combination of I did a lot of talking over the weekend and then up all night working on the plugin that was borked, that was denying people from logging into the creative server. So, hey, Snuggly Boo Bear, how's it going? Raining here too. So enjoying it. Used to live in Arizona. Ah, yeah. Ken, thank you for the epic Orc Slayer on the battlefield. I appreciate it. We are playing Stream Raiders. We already have a ton of people on the field. Be the first battle of today. It's kind of funny because you guys could get double vision here. Like I could have Stream Raiders up right here, and then we could also open it up on my overlay. So you get it twice. Right? Oh, maybe it doesn't show twice. Huh. Okay. Maybe not. Either way. Hey, Casual Carrot, how's it going? We'll be lurking while working, but wanted to say hi. I'll appreciate that. I love my lurkers. Ken's like, maybe the creeper should be my sound alert. You could totally do that. You could jump scare me every time. Well, most every time. Okay, so today we had a request from watchers to learn how to prune chunks. There are kind of like two ways you can do this. It sort of depends on if you want like everything to be reset or if you're just trying to pick and choose which areas to reset. So the first one's the easiest. You just need to go into your region files. So this is my test server right here. We're going to go into our file manager. Let's say we're just going to reset the end because it's, we'll just assume that it's been ravished by all the people who need all of the stuff and things. And we're going to go into here. We are going to, we don't have region files here. Hold on. It might be because I haven't really loaded anything into the end yet. So we're just going to go into the overworld. We're going to pretend it's the end. You will have a folder called regions. And in these region folders, you will see these things right here. So they're labeled according to their region. And I believe, yeah, all the regions. So you can just go in and delete these. And then when you reboot the server will remake them, and they'll remake them as you go and explore the chunks and all of that. It's like super duper simple. If you want to just fiddle with your chunks and things like that, you should probably download it and do it in a single player environment first, before you do it to your actual server. Always make backups. Like always. Many backups. Before you do anything when you're messing with server stuff, make a copy, make a backup so that, like, assume that you are going to mess something up. Just straight up assume you are going to mess something up. So the first thing you do is you make a copy And you either play with the copy or you set the copy aside so that you can, reload it if you mess something up on the main files. Like, for example, we updated some plugins yesterday on the server that caused the creative server to not be accessible because the plugin update was a little borked. When I did that update, I took the old file and I left it alone, but I renamed it .old. That way it just wouldn't work anymore. And then I uploaded the new file. So if I had to, if we couldn't get the problem figured out, I could just delete the file that we had updated and then rename the previous file, just remove the .old from the end. So that's what I do with jar files. Stuff and things makes me laugh for some reason. Yes. Gip, thank you for the epic archer on the battlefield. Appreciate it. Solid advice for all things computers, usually. Yes. Usually do expect it to blow it up. Yes. You should always assume that you are going to mess something up, and so always make backups. Make backups of your backups if you need to. So always work either with copies or make sure you have a copy that is like a clean copy that you can put back if you need to. Okay, so super simple. If you're doing something like resetting the end, delete your region files, let the world regenerate them when you reboot next, and you should be good to go. Again, that's going to be in whatever the world folder is, and then in the region file folder. Just delete all of those. If you're curious, if you're just wanting to delete certain regions, not all regions, you can. We'll just boot up Minecraft here. Let's get the correct account. I was using Angel for a lot of testing this morning. That's why I'm running late, because I just was being extra thorough in my testing. So I had to bring Amethyst into the picture. Almost makes me want to like resub with another separate patron account to Impulse, just to make it easier to test some things, so I don't have to pull in patrons, be like, hey, can you do this? Hi, Mare, how's it going? Okay, so I'm gonna go down here, go to our AMA server, and hop in. Oh, that's right, we were in the creative world working on stuff and things. Okay. Lag. Okay, so if we look in our F3 screen, you'll see you've got all these like numbers and things like that, but right here you have XYZ block chunk. This part right here, chunk -1 4 -1 31 31 and r dot -1 dot -1 dot mca. That's this stuff right here. This is the region. Oops. This is the region that we are currently in. It's the r dot -1 dot -1. That shows where we are right now. So if we moved to a different region, we would see this number change. Now regions are huge. So we're gonna stay, well, not here because we're right at the center of the world, so it's like the focal point of 4 different regions. But you'll see that the chunk numbers right here, 0, 30 in this one, and we'll go 31 of 28. You see that number just keeps changing. That's as we are changing what chunk we are in. So there you go. Happy birthday. You're about a little over 6 months off there, but nice try. Let's see. So 3122. You can see that change as you move through. So if you're just trying to target a specific like region or chunk within the region, this is how you would know exactly what chunk it is in the files. Because when you download, if you just were to download your regions folder and open it up using like something like 7-zip where it lets you open it up in an archive, you can then open up each of these region files and get down to the singular chunks. I might be able to do that. Let's see. So this is this server. This was the last backup that I took from this server. So we can go into our world file. We can go down into regions. Let's see if it lets us open that further. No, it does not. Okay. That's all right. I wonder if it will let us. How do I go back again? Back right there. So you go to go to 119, have new chunks, just keep all the ones we have builds in and delete the rest. Yes. So there's a second way to do this. So if this is kind of like a very technical way to do it, you would have to keep track of which chunks and chunk numbers in the regions that you don't want to delete, and then make sure that you only delete the ones you do want to delete. But there is another way to do this that's a little more like GUI friendly, if that makes sense. So there is a program called Mca Selector, and this is what it looks like. And I will drop the link in my Discord as well. And I will add that to the pin post at the top. Okay, it's there in my Discord. So what you do is you'll download a copy of your world and you'll put it into your Minecraft folder, because that's the first place it's going to look. And you can click Open World, and you should be able to find it in here. We're just going to look at my Paladin Sanctuary world. So we're going to select the folder, and it's going to show my world. And you can come in here and you can select whatever chunks you want to delete. So I can clear my selections here. This is, where I've been building, obviously, with the little village there. You can see all the places I haven't been because they are not loaded. And you can see all the places I have been. We went over and we found that Mushroom Island and everything. I believe there was an ocean monument down here too, somewhere around here that we conquered. So you can usually find all the things. Yeah, in the desert over here that I was looking for as well. I haven't figured out the best way. It's been like a while. How do I just move the screen? Maybe I can do this. No? So I can zoom out and then it'll zoom in wherever your mouse is, I guess. That's annoying. There we go. That's better. So let's say that I did just want to delete everything outside of here. I would just have to select all of the areas that I wanted to delete. And this is chunk aligned too. So this aligns by the chunk. If I just wanted to keep these areas. And then what you would do is you go in here, delete selected chunks. And what that's going to do here is it's going to turn them all black. And then when you reload the world again, it will regenerate the chunks. So this is the most effective tool that I have found so far for pruning specific chunks in a world. If you want to just delete those chunks. So you would delete these chunks, you would update the world to 119, and then you would load the world, and that should reload your chunks in the 119 stuff. So it's actually really cool. Especially, getting this bird's eye view of everything as well. So it's a great little map tool. And it's only showing you places that are loaded. So it's less cheaty than say, using something like chunk base, which is just going to show you everything, you can be like, oh yeah, I forgot we explored this area. There's a mushroom island over here. There's, you know, all this stuff I've already explored. So that's the way you can do it too. When you first open the world, it gives you the option to choose a different dimension. So if you just wanted to work with the end, or you just wanted to work with the nether, you can do that as well. So that is also super duper helpful with this tool. Whole bunch of other tools here as well. You can import chunks. You can even like copy paste chunks. So if you just want like copies of your chunks, this is a way that you could actually make a custom world too if you wanted to. Once he says I like the shading on that map tool, yeah, but it's the only problem with it is it's like it's localized, so it's only for files that are on your local machine. So if I wanted to see ISV using this, I would have to download the latest backup of ISV and then load it up here, which would probably take a while because it will lag for a little bit on your computer as it loads everything up. But these large squares right here, these are the regions. That's how big a region is. So it is kind of cool to see that. Wow, I really haven't explored my world very much, have I? I know I went down this way to get ice at one point. It's been a long time since I've loaded up Paladin Sanctuary. It's what, like February maybe the last time? Then I got super busy with setting up ISV and I haven't touched it since. Like how you can see the heights. Yeah, me too. It does a really good job with showing like this is a big mountain. Wonder how, yeah, you can get pretty zoomed in here. This chunk and this chunk. So there you go. That it's very, very simple. A lot of people get super intimidated by it because like, ooh, pruning chunks, that sounds really hard and complicated, but it's actually fairly simple to do, especially with a tool like this that takes all of the figuring out which chunks where. It makes it visual instead of going through each file to do it, you know? Real so in the daytime, I know, right? Can you mark things? I like that it is chunk aligned, yeah. Because this is so that you can select each chunk if I only wanted to delete these chunks. Like if some way, somehow, something got corrupted in my world and it was just in that chunk that it was corrupted, I can just select that chunk and tell it to delete it. Just be like, bye. In fact, we can do that with these because I'm pretty sure I haven't mined that far in that direction. But how about we just clear and do something like way out that I know I haven't touched. Like out here. So I haven't touched any of this. We're just going to take these chunks and we're going to go ahead and delete selected chunks. And then we got this warning that says you're about to delete 4 chunks from this world. Are you sure? Boop. Now those chunks be gone. Now we would have to go fly over and reload them. It's not a plugin like Dynamite. Correct. This is a local, on your own machine program. This is for, it's specifically for pruning chunks. It doesn't have a whole lot of functionality beyond that, and it's a little bit clunky on like the zoom in, zoom out. You can see it takes me a bit to get it kind of centered again on where my base is. There we go. Because I can't drag anywhere on the screen because it doesn't do anything, and using the other click is just selecting chunks. Do wish Dynamap would let you see chunks. Yeah, it seems like it should be able to because it's there in the config file. But like It's like some people, I'm pretty sure it was either Sammy or Kep that said that they could see chunk lines, and I can only see chunk lines on Dynamap when I'm scrolling in and out. Like if I scroll in and out really, really quickly, I can see the chunk lines, but they disappear when I'm not scrolling. So, middle click and drag. Ah, Ken is smart. Middle click and drag does work. How did you know that? That's smart. Oh, that's so much easier. I mean, it's a little weird because I accidentally hit the zoom in and zoom out button on the mouse as I'm dragging. Ken's smart. And yes, there are all these shortcuts here too, like Control L and Control U. All I'm doing is, you guys can't see it behind the thing right here. All I'm doing is selecting clear. So let's look at invert though. So let's say there we go. Let's say I just wanted to save just this part of my world. I want everything else to go away. All the stuff that I've done like here. And I want everything else to go away. So then I would invert. So now it's selecting the entire world except for this. And I could delete those chunks to reset it. Adobe does middle click and drag. Ah, oh, that makes sense. See, and I even like know a few Adobe things. Not a lot, but a few. And I didn't even think about that. Was it CAD? I forget. Sounds like CAD. Yeah. I don't know anything about CAD, so if CAD does it, then for sure. Much orange. Very bright. So we can clear. Let's see what other options we have here. I haven't played around with this tool. I pretty much have only used it like a couple of times. And I was actually really glad when watchers had asked that question. It took me a while to find the old resource, and I was really glad to see that it was being maintained. So this is the websites that I posted on my Discord. You can download it right here, Windows or Universal version, right there. And then yeah, so they have a wiki as well if you don't know how to use it or you want more instructions on how to use it. Download, installation, navigation, selections, blah, 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 blah. So you can see all that here too. Let's see. Stream Raiders. Nope. Oh my goodness, so many people. Okay, we're going to do this. Everybody gets a buff. Even though it only affects ranged people, technically. It just means all of our ranged people can shoot farther. 52 units. GG, y'all. I remember Blender to do the same middle click thing to move around the map. I keep forgetting it to be a feature. I mean, it makes sense. I've, like, with the Adobe products, I've pretty much only used, like, Photoshop and Premiere. And even then, like, I used Premiere a while ago, and I've just been picking it up again, and it's very intimidating. There are a lot more buttons now than, like, 10 years ago. I started making YouTube videos when YouTube was still, like, baby website. And I used Windows Movie Maker. That's not even a thing anymore. It's not even a thing anymore. That has no ability to like change camera angles or zoom in on things. Like you had to use your camera to get the camera angle you wanted. There was no fixing that. So anyway, congrats Ken and Stone Peas on your extra stuff. We'll collect our things as well. Gold! And we'll start the next battle. I really ought to be using some of my other, like, captain units to try and get them all leveled up and stuff. Ken, stop being so amazing. I don't think that's possible, Yancey. I lived on Windows Movie Maker. See, I'm so glad, Mare. I am so glad that I am not the only one that's like, I did everything on Windows Movie Maker, and you can tell. Yeah. If any of you go through all of my old videos on my YouTube channel, like, just understand that technology was a little different 10 years ago. Oh my gosh. More than 10 years ago. We're in 2022. Some of those videos are like 2006. I'm old. I'm old, y'all. I had to touch a Mac today. Someone please put me down. I'm sorry, Goo. I hope you left the Mac in functional condition for the poor person who has it. Okay. Let's go ahead and close that. That should be that for chunk pruning. There's another cool thing that you can do getting in and messing with the region files. You can add and remove bounding boxes as well. So if you're doing something like making your own version of a skyblock map and you need to have a fortress bounding box, you can get into the region files and add one. It's pretty cool. Maybe we can cover that in a future stream, like making your own custom worlds and dimensions and going over all of those things. That's a good idea. I always need ideas for the stream. Because if no one's asking me questions, then I have to come up with my own ideas. Creating custom worlds. Oh, what am I doing? I have a Todoist. Ruby! If you want to use your new Todoist command words. If you want to use your new Todoist command, I need like an idea captured about creating custom worlds, messing with region files, and bounding boxes. How big is an average file? My single player game lags worse than online. Do I need to have a file on my PC or in Minecraft? I would first try allocating more RAM to your game. That's the first thing I would try. I don't know about how big an average file is. It really depends. It depends on what data packs you're using or plugins if you're running like a paper MC thing. Like Core Protect takes a ton of space, but it's not always being accessed. So it depends on how many regions you have loaded, how many chunks have been generated, like how big your world is. When you're talking about printing chunks, you need to have the file on your PC in order to use the program that I was showing, if that's what you're asking. And then it needs to be in the Minecraft folder, although you can probably navigate to it outside of that. Hold on, we'll boot it up again. So if you go open world, it's going to take you directly to wherever your roaming folder is for Minecraft. Don't judge me for my computer's name. My husband set it up. So it'll default to here, but you can probably just navigate to whatever folder it's located in. I only have 4 gigs of RAM, so I don't know if I can add more to this old dino. Oof. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. I have 16 allocated to Minecraft now that I have more RAM. Before I did 12. Just needs to be in the folder, then I might be okay. Yeah. Yes, you did, Ruby. Thank you. Oh, I should probably add Ruby to that channel in my Discord that confirms that it made it into Todoist. Hold on. Please hold. Permissions. Add members. Personal assistant role gets added. Done. There. Now Ruby should be able to see in my Discord a new channel way down at the bottom called Todoist, and all my Todoist feedback gets dropped in there. Yelp, you do! Thank you. Okay, might try that. All right, cool. There isn't enough soap and gasoline. This is too expensive. I remember iMovie. I also used one, what was it called? Studio 9? That was another fairly cheap software for video editing that I used for a while. And then eventually I went to Adobe. I was actually kind of glad that they made Adobe a subscription thing because that software was freaking expensive. Like hundreds of dollars. And then the whole like licensing process for it was convoluted and didn't work very well because they were trying to make sure that you could only have it installed on 2 computers at a time, but it had to be connected to the internet, which wasn't always a guaranteed thing back then. So now it's a little easier, but still a little easier. So expensive. That's why everyone had cracked versions in school. Exactly. Exactly. Do you wish we could get cracked versions still? Yes. Sometimes I wish the same things. But at least it's a subscription. At least it's not too expensive, you know, and I can share the cost with a member of my family. You know, she just needs like Acrobat and things like that, and I just need like Photoshop and Premiere and stuff. And so we just split the cost and do the full, like, I think it's like $55 a month or something like that to get the whole suite. I mean, I totes paid for it all the time, always. I totally believe you can because I did the exact same thing. I also, when I did have an actual, like, real educational version of it that was, like, legal and stuff, I used that for a very long time. So it was like $200 cheaper. I still have the first portable USB drive thing that I ever purchased. It cost me $80 and it was half a gig. That was all it could hold. And it was like, that was like mega storage. I think that was like 2007, maybe 2008. Same with AutoCAD, yeah. Me and Hubs are missing our educational version of it. It was so much cheaper, yes. Like, I totally paid for all of my music in the early 2000s. Uh-huh. Yancey says, y'all are sus. Back in my day, when Netflix used to mail you the DVDs, they didn't have a streaming service. I happen to know people who did a lot of DVD burning so that they could just get as many DVDs as they could through the mail, you know, because they'd only send you 2 at a time. You'd send them back, they'd send you 2 more. Like, these people watch movies constantly. They're going to watch more than 2 movies in a 3-day period. And so, yeah, that was another thing that was, I think, very prevalent. It was probably good that Netflix moved to streaming online as just as quickly as they could. Students can't pay that much. Even now, AutoCAD is Holy moly! 1865 a year. 1,865 a year. I had no idea it was that expensive. No, students cannot afford that much. Goodness gracious. Never happened. No one did that. Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely nobody did that. Totally don't have a hard drive from that era that has movies, right? Well, and there was all kinds of software out there too that would crack whatever locking codes that they would try to put on the DVDs to prevent you from making copies. Yeah, easily broken. It's just stuff and things. All right, back to Minecraft stuff. Sorry, y'all. I get distracted. It's fine. Okay, so there is a new plugin that we want to look at called MyWorlds. This is the plugin. This supposedly will replace multiverse. Because the thing with multiverse is it hasn't really been maintained and it hasn't been updated in a really long time. And when they do update, it's like at least 6 months apart, usually a year apart between updates. And lately, we've been having some trouble with the multiverse portals. Like, they don't create correctly or something like that, and even deleting and recreating them may or may not work. And so, been on the lookout for something that's a little more maintained, something that's a little more up to date. And this looks like it might be a good option. And so, distracted? No, I don't get distracted. So, we're going to try this one. We're going to download that. And it looks like it needs a library. So it needs this as a dependency. Ooh, that might be an issue. Hopefully it's not an issue. But they say it's an issue. So we shall see. So they're saying we'll need protocol lib as well. Pretty sure I have that. Let's find out. Back to our file manager, we're going to our plugins. Do we have protocol lib? We do. I don't know what version though. Back whenever we installed it, so it's probably the latest version. I'll have to figure out how to get an downgraded version. Is that what it's called? A downgraded version? Squirrel! I know, right? First words, latest one is broken. Not a good sign, right? Yeah, that doesn't say what version it is either. So we're going to go look for Minecraft protocol lib. There it is. Have a GitHub. I wonder if their GitHub will tell me what versions we're using here. It also could be that this site isn't kept up to date, so we're going to look at their GitHub as well. So let's see. It doesn't look like they use this to publish. It says no releases published. So that means they do. So released March 5th. It's not too long ago. All right. We'll risk it for now, and if it doesn't work, we'll see if we can find an older version of protocol lib to use instead of the one that they say does not work. So let's see what they have to say about it being broken. Oh, this says closed. So fixed. No problem. So they just haven't updated their Spigot site yet. Huzzah! That's a relief. Okay. Let's see. Go there. We have protocol lib. Oh, this is 4.8.0, so we were probably fine anyway because it was saying don't use 5.0. Let's go back. Not a new tab in case we need to reference it. It should just be a drag and drop. Version, release support. All right, yeah, this is just a library of tools that other plugins will use, which is why it's kind of a dependency and not like its own standalone saying this is exactly what it does. This is tools that other plugins use. Okay, tell Oz I went to bed. Good night, everyone. Good night, Yuansi. Have a good sleep. We'll tell Oz that you went to bed on time. Going to lurk in the background for a bit? No worries, Mr. Wizard. You can listen to my mutterings and mumblings as I figure out this new plugin. Okay. We'll join the Discord if we have problems, but for now, just go through here. It looks like it'll do everything that we use multiverse for. So load, unload, copy, delete, save, and create worlds. Show informations of world, list available chunk generators and worlds. That's cool. If it's got its own chunk generator, maybe we wouldn't have to use chunky, and maybe our mining worlds wouldn't be so laggy. So now Oz can come out of the shadows. He's probably still at work. It's well past his lunch break time, so... Real, I am troubleshooting. You're troubleshooting? What are you troubleshooting? How's your aim? If you're shooting trouble. Set world game mode difficulty. Yep, so all of that same stuff that Multiverse has. Mob restrictions. Evacuate worlds to clear them from players. I wonder, we can do this one person at a time with Multiverse, I think. I've never tried to do it to everybody, but I wonder if this will apply to offline players too, if it would edit their player data for their last logout location. That would be super cool if it did, and then we wouldn't have to worry about people logging out in the mining worlds anymore. Repair broken worlds, make portals, cross world, one way, simple, no commands needed. No commands needed. What? Sus. World-specific chat rooms using permissions. Interesting. So if you only wanted to chat with the people who are in Map World with you, maybe we could do that. That would be interesting. I wonder how that would play, if that would play well at all with Essentials Chat. That's another plugin that needs testing. That's on my list. Automatically loads worlds when the server's restarting. Extensive permission system. You can even set who can enter what world. That's good. Connect as a tool for other plugins to teleport players from one world to another. Simple teleportation commands. Set op lists for specific worlds to make player operators on certain worlds. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Huh. That would be extremely useful for our lore master group. So Kep and her team, they're working on server lore. They're the ones that set up our last event on the event server, and they're getting ready to start setting up the next event. It would be extremely handy for me to be able to just like give Kep op permissions just for that event world, so that she can do all the things that she needs to do, and it's just for that world. That's really cool. Trying to figure out why my game crashes switching between scenes. I think that would be a CK question, Ruby. Yeah, for the event server, exactly. That's very interesting. Easy to remember commands with aliases and chat message help. World inventory separation. See, that's something I've always been interested in looking at that Multiverse has, but it hasn't been working since like 1.16. They've updated it, but it's been extremely buggy. Like, I was trying to help Panda with it a couple months back, and I was just like, I don't know. I would just uninstall the inventories and see if that fixes all the inventory problems you're having between dimensions. And she did, and that fixed it. So I don't know, because I was doing everything right in her permission sets and everything, and it just wasn't taking. So that's interesting. So we could, in theory, like if the server could handle it, we could, instead of having a separate server for the creative world, you could walk into a creative mode world on the main server. So like there's the mining worlds, and then right next to it you have another portal to the creative world. You could walk into that portal and your inventory switches so that it has whatever creative mode inventory you have, and then when you leave that world, it switches back. Sounds cool to me. Might not work on a server as big as like ISV, but it would definitely work on a smaller server where you wouldn't have to worry about strain on the server. Our schedules never match up, so flying solo. Oh, fair enough. Well, all you gotta do is ping him. And if he's awake, if he's available, he'll talk to you. Even if he's streaming, he'll stop in the middle and just help you. That's like part of what he does for his stream. He considers it to be content to help other people with their stuff. Cammy, thank you for the epic rogue on the battlefield. I appreciate it. Main world where player spawn can be configured can set to respawn all players in the main world at all times. Yeah, that sounds... I mean, all of this sounds very much like everything that Multiverse does. Disclaimer, because things can go wrong. Uh-huh. Ask him now, Ruby. He always tells people, just ping me. If I'm not available, I'm not going to answer, or I'll tell you when I'm available. If I am available, I'll hop in with you. That's usually what he says. Okay. So what we need to do is get this loaded, and I'm not sure it would play nice with Multiverse, and so I'm thinking I need to start a new instance on Bisect. So maybe we will do that. Or Goo, are you still there? You okay if I use my server, my test server that Oz and I have been playing on? You okay if I use that on stream? We'll see if Goo's still there. So we could do that too. Regardless, we'll go over here. We're gonna stop the server. Should boot me out of the game. Yep. Oh, Stream Raiders battle. Was it battle time? I can't remember. No, we still got 4 minutes. Whew. Thought I was late. Okay, we're gonna open the instance manager. we are going to create a new instance. We're calling this our AMA server. So what this is doing is it's copying all the files from my current server and it's putting it on a back burner, basically. And so it's saying, this instance is now created. So now I have two copies of my server, the one that's on my current server and the one that's on the back burner. Front burner, back burner. So now we're going to go open our instance manager again. Actually, no, we're going to go to our jar menu. Maybe? Now we're going to open our instance manager. Okay, I'm not at my limit yet, so we're going to do AMA MyWorlds. Create instance. Server files are empty. Okay. I know my other instance is safe. See, this is part of my problem with Bisect is it's not easy to figure out. Okay, how do I start a new server, but one with the same jar? Because if I was switching to like just a Spigot server or vanilla Minecraft, that's easy. I can select whichever one that I'm wanting to work in like that. And it warns me. And then when we say, yep, going to go ahead and do that, it's saying, what do you want to do with the current server files? Because this is going to change everything. Oops, those. All right. So maybe what we need to do, and I hate switching between any of these because it makes me nervous because I could lose any of these. Okay. I wouldn't mind losing this one. So we're going to load that. We're going to load it and keep the instance. So we're going to put it on the front burner and keep it on the back burner still. We're going to confirm. And then it's saying, okay, what would you like to do with what's currently on the front burner? And we're just going to say delete because we already put a copy on the back burner. I did make a backup just in case, because it's been a couple times that it hasn't done that. So there's also that. Okay. Girls Corner has been cloned, so it's here now. Now we're going to go into our jar menu. We're going to turn that. Can we turn that off? Turn that on. There we go. Save. No. All right, so now it's saying, okay, you've just changed this to 118.2. Do you want us to just delete everything? And I'm going to say yes, because again, I kept a copy of this already on the back burner. This is not how you update. This is how you start a new server. And I'm telling you guys because I'm also talking myself through the process because I need to say it out loud to be like, okay, yes, we're doing this correctly. Okay, so that should do it. We should be able to go here, folders empty, because we haven't started the server yet. That's not what I meant to click. Oh, there we go. We are going to start the server now and hope all of that worked. So we generate all the files and everything. Need some more water. Do all the things. Hey, it worked. Okay. So I should be able to log into it now. Ta-da! New world. Perfect. Am I opt? Nope, I am not. Back over here. Voila. Now we can do our game mode switcher creative mode thingy. Okay, let's go ahead and log out. because we are going to install more things. Let's see. I think you guys need haste to get around to kill all the things. A lot fewer people on the battlefield this time. Ooh, 20 units. We'll see if we can do it. After we give everybody speed boost. Oh, wow. A locust swarm, huh? Well, hopefully. Oh yeah, see? That was perfect. All the rogues are running around killing all the things. Good job. Hopefully they'll get to these ones. Yes! Prioritize those targets. Good job. Kill all the things that produce more enemies. Oh my gosh, these two rogues were perfect for this level. They just run around and get all these. What are these called? Blue swarm traps. All the traps. Get them! Not good enough though, because we lost all of our other units. That is okay. We shall try again. Alright, that is a-okay. We did complete a couple of quests still. We're going to keep playing. And we're going to try that one again. This time I think a few more rogues would be good. But definitely need more units on the field. We'll plop down our tank. And we'll see that screen again in 30. I like how you've been asking questions to yourself like we know the answers. I mean, this is how we learn, right? We ask the questions and then we work on finding the answer. Whether or not it's a stupid question, like, there really aren't any stupid questions. There's just questions, and whether or not you are able to find the answers or not for yourself, that's the part where people would get frustrated with you, maybe. That's my opinion. Like, people will call it a stupid question, but what they're really meaning is, why are you asking me when you can find this out yourself? Don't waste my time. You are perfectly capable of finding this answer yourself. And like, I think that's where that disconnect is, why people say this might be a stupid question, because so many people have reacted that way to that person. And it's not that the question is stupid. It's just that the person that you ask the question to believes you capable of finding the answer yourself. That's the wrong attitude to have, in my opinion. I disagree with those people. Because whether or not you are capable of finding the answer yourself, you've probably tried everything that you can think of. And you're just like, I don't know. And so I'm going to this person to ask them for help because, yes, it might take a few minutes of their time, but it's going to save me hours of my own time to find the answer. And so why not? We all just save each other some time, right? Speaking of person who answers stupid questions all the time. Hi, CK! We must licky you. Ew, licky raid. Hey, Perry, how's it going? We're going to install a new plugin today. We're installing MyWorlds and seeing how that goes. So we'll need a couple of things. We need the protocol lib. I don't think they linked it here, though. There we go. What did I do to you? Hi, how do? Nothing. You answered my questions when I would bring you questions that a lot of people would brush aside when I would ask them. And then we were just talking about that, about people who ask quote-unquote stupid questions. That I disagree that the questions are stupid. I think that the person who is asking was made to feel that way by the way people have responded to them in the past, and I think that's wrong. Like, we can all save each other a little time by asking each other more stupid questions. Yeah, exactly, CK. That's why I say stupid question, like quote-unquote stupid question. Not really a stupid question. It's like we all like learning. Like I think it's human nature to want to learn new things, to get excited about learning something new. Part of the reason why I've really enjoyed doing these AMA Wednesday streams is because it's learning stuff, and it's learning stuff together too, because there are things that I don't know, and so I'm like, all right, let's find out together on stream. Why not? I fixed it jankily, but I fixed it. Yay, Ruby! CK, Ruby was needing help with her stuff crashing whenever she would change scenes, but I guess she has fixed it now. I kept trying to tell her she needed to talk to you, but she was like, no, I don't want to bug him. Harry says, it's going, I guess, trying to adjust my brain to accept the fact that it has to survive for 3 months off-grid in a couple of days. Oh, no! Oh, no! 3 months! 3 months off-grid. Oh, my goodness. I wouldn't survive. How are you going to survive? Like, tell me you can bring, like, your computer or something to play, like, single-player games or something. Tell me there is electricity. Don't ask that. Oh, okay. CK says, stop the crashing. Define bug me. I just have to run OBS as an admin, make sure Minecraft is open first before opening OBS. It's janky, but it's fine. Yeah, I have like a protocol for the order of things that need to be opened too. CK's like, no, don't do that. I foresee CK and Ruby appearing in my Discord voice chat before too long. I would trust CK, Ruby. He knows what he's about. I make an exception to the no stupid questions when people continue to ask questions that are either unrelated to current context or unhelpful to the current context. Of course, I'd never tell someone their question is stupid, but it grinds my gears sort of things. And see, that's different. It's the difference between stupid question and question that's inappropriately asked right now, like not the right time. That's different than a stupid question. Or those questions that people ask, they genuinely want to know the answer, but you just answered it like 2 lines above if they would just go look. That's laziness. It doesn't make the question stupid. It just makes the person lazy. Because they just didn't bother to look before asking. And that's kind of a learning thing too for people, because, when you're little, that happens all the time because your awareness is nowhere outside yourself. And so part of growing and becoming an adult and that emotional growth and everything is about learning to think outside yourself. To not just think about your own thoughts, your own needs, your own questions, but to think, even just take that step of say, I'll bet other people have asked this question too. I'm going to search first. Like most of the Discords I'm a part of to get help with things like plugins and server stuff that's going on, most of them I have never said a single word in. But I've used them all the time because I search. I start searching for keywords that are in my question to see if I can find if anybody else has had this issue and if they had a fix for it. Most of the time, someone has. Someone's run into this issue, they ran into this fix for it, I try the fix, it works. Perfect. Hey Fry, how's it going? Harry's gonna come back to find us wearing bear hides. Okay, so why don't we run OBS in admin? We don't run OBS in admin due to when something breaks or OBS crashes, it's not just OBS crashing, it brings more stuff down with it. And if there is something bad in the code or a plugin, that you use an OBS, you open your system to vulnerabilities and so on. I hate computers. Part of becoming an adult. Oh, how we hope that is true. Not always evident in adults. Yes. Very true. Well, don't worry, Ruby. We've got plenty of techie people who are willing to assist. Just go hop in voice. I'm sure they won't mind your kids screaming in the background. It's fine. CK has a bork bork in the background. It's fine. Ken, thank you for the epic war beast on the battlefield. I appreciate it. All right, let's get this thing downloaded and installed. Okay, got those. Go here. I'm gonna open my downloads folder real quick. All new folder for AM. Why did you do that? Folder. Thank you. AMA. Today is the 25th. We're going to move all the things that we want to install into that folder. So protocol lib goes in there. MyWorlds goes in there. And the BK lib goes in there. Then we need to fix that naming convention. And now we're going to upload all of these. Drag and drop. This is Ruby. This is very basic level understanding of technocery, which is technology and sorcery. Okay, that's done. Now, let us boot up the world and see what we broke. You think I'm kidding. But I mean that. All right, we're gonna go watch console. Things boot up. Okay, everything looks good so far. Oh, error. Legacy. Well, maybe it'll be okay. We'll see. Okay, I think we're good. Let's log in. Okay. Plugins. Yay, everything's green. That's what I like to see. I like to see when everything is green, right here. To do that, you do /plugins, and it will show you a list of your plugins, and if they are red, they are currently not loaded for some reason. So something happened in the boot up process that disabled them, or someone ran a command in game to disable them. I've never heard that technocery, so stealing that, yeah. I actually got it from... Quest for Glory. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 though. Erasmus, the wizard up in the mountains when you're playing 1, but you go talk to Aziza and she has a back room that kind of magically connects all the sorcerers in all the games. And Erasmus is there as well behind one of the curtains. I'm pretty sure it was 2 when he said that term, technocery. Because that's like, if you're going the wizard's path in that game, you join their club. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember it used the word technocery, and that's all that mattered, and I loved the word ever since. So that's where it comes from. It's technology and sorcery. It's technocery. And about the going off grid, it won't be 100% off grid, which is why it's in parentheses or in quotes, but it's off grid in the sense of not having constant access to the internet. The interwebs due to bad cell reception in the area I'm going to be in. And work days are going to be in the 16 to 18 hour range. Not much time left for being digital. That sucks. If you're not opposed to Starlink, they've just come out with some new satellite dishes that are meant for mobile people on the move. You might look into it if you're allowed. It's the last time we used Starlink, it was like a little unstable, but it was stable enough to like play Minecraft and stuff. It just wasn't, you'd get these random like lag spikes, and so it would be enough to boot you from like games like Overwatch, that were like real-time games. My life has been enriched. Seriously, this term is awesome. I'm glad you like it. Ruby says, CK, you are a genius. Hear, hear. Round of applause for CK. Hear, hear. I agree. Much genius. Very smirts. They aren't delivering here until 2023. Dang it! Oh, I'm sorry. If I could give you our dish that we're not using anymore because we moved, I would, but they're like geolocation locked or something like that. I was going to send it to my brother in Utah because he's moving out to a rural property, but when I learned that they're geo-locked, I was like, oh. Well, so now we have a completely useless Starlink dish that cost us $600 just sitting in a box underneath our stairs in the storage area of the garage because we can't use it. I mean, we could because we don't live that far away from where we used to, but we don't need it anymore because fiber in the new neighborhood. Okay. Let's see how this MyWorlds thing works. That's not the right thing. That's the right thing. Hero. Okay, we don't need that anymore or that. MyWorlds wiki. Okay. Let's talk about commands. Oh dear. Okay, commands right there. I was like, oh no, they don't have a commands list. I wasn't thinking this plugin was that new. Okay. World creation, that's what we want. World create, world name, generator argument seed. Okay, so can we just do, yes, we can just do things like that. Fixes. Do they have generators already installed here? Generator. Okay, so they probably have generator world followed. Custom world generator plugins is what we need. Let's go back. There we go. I hate it when things don't open in a new tab. It drives me crazy. Oh, so it just sends me to a search on Spigot. Ugh. All right, so it looks like it doesn't have its own custom generators, but they'll just point you, it will work with custom generators. Fair enough. Yeah, Mr. Wizard, if you join my Discord, that's probably going to be the best way to get in touch with like CK or Perry or whatever, or their Discords as well. Following them on Twitch. They're the within my community, they're kind of our local OBS gurus. Whenever I can't figure something out, I'm always crying at CK like, CK, it broken and I don't know how to fix. So That's those two are going to be your best bet for getting OBS help. Mr. Wizard said he wants to learn how to stream and get started on streaming, so that should be fun. And when CK can't fix it, he comes barking at me. Exactly. Nunter, thank you so much for the epic rogue on the battlefield. I appreciate it. Okay, so much for that. I'm hoping it doesn't require a generator thing, but it doesn't look like it because it looks like you can just go /world create. Yep, you can just do that. World create with the name, and then if you want to use a seed, or you can just leave it blank. Does it have flat world? It does, right here. Change layer settings and generators. Ooh. All right. This makes me want to go look at the configs. Plugins. MyWorlds. Big. Interval in milliseconds before being teleported again, so you can't just constantly teleport. That's good. They're not to use world inventories. Or inventory in main world. Okay, so this is where you would set up whether or not you're using inventory, so you don't even have to install like a completely separate plugin, which is nice. You got English back. Yay, Mr. Wizard. Like, oh no, I changed the language settings. I don't know what I did. Let's see. Allow portal name override. Whether portals can be replaced by other portals with the same name on the same world. I might actually end up changing that to false, because I'd rather it kick back an error saying there's something already named this, instead of overriding it. Because we sometimes end up creating quite a few portals. Use world operators. Right. False, that's what we were talking about earlier, but might be useful for the event server. I mean, if this plugin has a lot of the things that I am looking for, it will likely be the one that I use for my patron server. And see, we don't want this, because we don't want, if somebody dies in a mining world, we don't want them to respawn in the main world. We want them to respawn in the mining world. Okay. Sorry, I'm yawning because I am tired. I was up until 6 a.m. working on the issue that we had with the login stuff for the creative world for ISV. And then I woke up at 11:30 a.m. and I was just like, okay, I'm awake. But now I'm tired. I'm ready for a nap. Let's see. Turning enabled portals. Interesting. So I'm guessing this is like if you created another portal in another dimension, it would still go to the main nether? Huh. I'll have to play around with that one. See what it means by true and false, because I'm not processing this like turns handling of nether portals teleportation on or off. So if it's on, what happens? If it's off, what happens? Might have to go read the wiki. Whether egg spawned entities are allowed to spawn. That's interesting. So even if you have spawn eggs, it won't let you spawn them unless we set it so that you're allowed to spawn them. Portal physics are overridden to allow them to be built or stacked. Whether to automatically import world configuration of multiverse for new unworked. Oh, so this actually might have worked with multiverse. We might have been able to install it and then just disable multiverse, and this would take over. Interesting. Okay. We're just going to save and close. We didn't make any changes, so it doesn't matter. Default properties. Keep spawn loaded. That's important. If your server is struggling with lag, it's important to change that to false because you don't want to keep spawn loaded wherever your multiverse portal is at 0, 0. It's like having a chunk loader in every single world that you create. So if you have quite a few of them, you might want to turn that off to help with server lag. Interesting. So some of these things are flags that we would normally control with like World Guard or something like that. But I'm trying to avoid putting World Guard onto my patron server, and I'm trying to look for other options because World Guard is like a resource hog as far as I can tell. Every report that I read, World Guard is hogging up more server tick than sheep. And there's like 800 sheep on the server. So, yeah. All right, well, that's interesting. This localization. Okay. So it's about like settings per world. That makes sense. Okay. Just constantly pinging the server to record stuff. Actually, so when you install World Guard, it creates what's called a global region. And that is the region that is looking at every world, everything all the time. Now, we don't do anything with that global region because then it would make it so that only server operators can do anything in the world. Like y'all wouldn't be able to break blocks or place blocks or interact with anything, like nothing. Usually when we put a region around something, we, name it like spawn, and then you can't place or break blocks there. Creeper damage isn't allowed, mobs aren't allowed to spawn. We set certain flags of how we want it to act. And so the plugin will constantly look at that region and go, okay, I'm waiting for a player to be here. Is there a player here? Is there a player here? Is there a player here? Are they allowed to be here? Because we can set flags where you can't even enter a region. And so yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no is constantly looking at this little region that you've got set around your spawn. And then it will look at all the different flags and nope, not allowed, or this is allowed, or whatever. And so that's a constant like drain on the server as well. And then you can set like all kinds of flags with World Guard regions. But the thing is that one little region, you would think that would be the only one that's like pinging the server and taking up some resources to keep track of players. Right? It would just be that one region. No, there is a global region that's keeping track of players, even if they're all allowed to do all the things. And so I'm looking for other options. Other options that would maybe just allow me to have just a region, like not a global region or anything like that, but just this one region. We only need this one region. Because I'm pretty sure it's the global region that's the problem, because it's constantly tracking everything players are doing, even if they're allowed to. Like, That takes up so much resources, especially when we've already got Core Protect tracking every single thing players do. So why does World Guard feel the need to do the same? So looking for other options for that, at least for my patron server. Do a lot of testing with it. What would happen if we remove the global region? Would that help with the lag? I don't think you can remove the global region, Ken. I think it's default. I mean, you can try, but I'm pretty sure you can't. Don't try it on the main server. Try it on the test server, please. Y'all remember that time on the hardcore server when we were doing it with like hardcore 5 lives or something like that? When suddenly y'all couldn't place blocks, just all of the sudden? Blame Mca because he added an owner to the region, to the global region. And that made it so that anyone that wasn't an owner couldn't do anything. Good times. Ken speeds into the configs. Science! Yes. He was sciencing, yes. But that's why we do things on the test server, not the main server. He was like, that shouldn't have done anything. I was like, well, it did. He was just about to log out too, and I was like, ABK, everybody's saying in chat they can't place blocks. What did you do? It was great. Oh no, 27 units. We'll see if 7 more units will win the day for us. Zoomies! I'll never forget the Tupac oops and subsequent quirk. I forgot about that. That's why it's always unnerving to everybody when anyone says oops, when any admin types say oops in voice chats. Because oops. Big oops. Hey Sturm, how's it going? Hey Grizzy, words. Grizzled, Grizzly. You know, you're just Grizzy now. Hey Grizzy! Never hear an admin say oops. It never ends well. Alright, we'll try a different map. That one seems to be a bit much for us. Let's try this one. One more time. We do the things. And we'll see that screen again in 30. I'll take it. Alright. Grizzled Grizzly is now Grizzy. That's how Upsy ended up with her name. Upside Insanity. It was too hard for my mouth to manage, and so I was just like, you're Upsy now. Plus it also kind of sounds like oopsie. Okay, permission defaults. Okay. So this is if you want other people to be able to mess with things, whether or not they're ops, I would assume. We'll have to test that and see if we can either add a name or what. I don't know what you would have there. Maybe it works with left perms. Who knows? To the wiki! That's usually my answer for everything. Okay. Neat. All right. We still got to figure out how to create a world here. So why don't we do that? Most of the time when I'm creating a new world, it's going to be a flat world because we'll be using like data packs and stuff for creating more custom worlds for mining. Today we learned how to prune chunks, and now we're testing a new plugin to replace Multiverse because Multiverse isn't updated as often as we would like, especially when there starts to be problems with it, and when you're only getting an update like every 6 months to a year. Like, it hasn't been updated since September last year. So we've gone through 118, 118.1, and 118.2 with no updates for Multiverse. So it's a little concerning. And especially when we're running into issues with it recently. So, yeah. So I'm looking into MyWorlds. We'll probably use it on my patron server, which, you know, we're aiming for mid-June for release for our patron server, which I'm so excited. It should be interesting. It should be good. I'm excited for it. So mid-June is what I'm hoping. Yes, indeed. Enjoy that ping later, Real? Okay. I'll be right back. Oh, I see. I need to sign up for that too. I keep forgetting. Well, if you do exclamation point Patreon, that will, or even socials, that will give you all the linkage. Exclamation point socials. Which is more than just socials. It's like just pretty much every link that I have. So there you go. Okay. So it looks like if we're not using a generator, then we need to go into the server properties, server.properties, and change it to flat. So we would need to make sure that we don't load into the world. We create it, and then we shut the server down, and then we go into the file and change the setting. That's complicated. I would rather find a generator. I've never looked for like seed generators before, though. I don't want a stupid, boring, dumb, hate it. Then if you pester Oz enough, you get banned from that server for a whole month before its launch. True, Ruby. Ruby is currently banned from our current test world. Which is funny. I think it was just in retaliation for the Redstone shop, the Redstone testing shop. Okay, so let's just create any world and see if that works. So, world. Oh, good. It has autofill. Multiverse does not have the autofill stuff, and it really sucks. So I'm gonna, well, let's just look through the commands real quick. Oh, I wonder if this is how they do. Ah, okay, so this is how they enable and disable per world stuff. So instead of having to type game rule blah blah blah, you just do this. Very technical terms here that we use. It's, you know, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Sturm. How much of a redstoner are you, Sturm? Because I'm thinking Ruby might need to install a trigger warning before entering her shop for redstoners. She had Oz ranting for a good 5 minutes when he first walked into that shop, and he rants every time anyone mentions it again. Your average. Very tech such pro. Totally, I agree, Ruby. I would say I'm average now. I'm getting a little better at redstone, but that kind of stuff doesn't trigger me, so... Ah, you can even set the keep spawn loaded thing here. That's good. I want to touch all the settings, but I'm also not wanting to break things just yet. I just finished fixing broken things. I don't want to break more things. Okay, so this is going to be a name. We're not going to use capitals in case that matters. Mining world. And then so create world name, and if you're using a seed, put in the seed. I wonder if you have to include that. You probably do if you're using a generator. I'll have to find some more examples, maybe search YouTube and see if anyone's got examples on the YouTubes. So Comic-Con in Salt Lake City, huh? I still haven't been to a Comic-Con before. Yes, so I will be at the Salt Lake Fan X, which is a Comic-Con. I will be there in September. I have info posted on my Discord. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. If anyone wants to meet up and stuff, there is a thread there for you to say, hey, me. Ignis, raiding with a party of 2. Welcome, raiders. Come on in, make yourselves at home. Thank you so much for that raid. Ignis, are you guys going to Comic-Con? Are you going to FanX in September? Hi, Fee, did you get some sleep? I saw you were in Impulse's stream in the middle of the night. I'm not judging because you and I were talking for a while too. I was making Fee a thing while I was waiting for other things. Thank you for the shout out as well. Appreciate that. What are we doing tonight, CK? Want to go to FanX? I don't know if I can though. I'm not rich. All right, no worries. We'll see if we can get like a group ticket or something like that. Get everybody in. Oh no, you saw that. Yes, I went back to sleep. I didn't fall asleep until probably 6:30 a.m. Overkill things. Oh, that's right. Yes. I should be okay for that. I just need a nap after stream because otherwise either a nap or caffeine. But sometimes having the caffeine just makes the nap happen anyway. If you can. Yeah, no worries. We'll do this next Stream Raiders battle in 20 minutes, and then we'll probably send the raid on to somebody. Lurking, be right back. No worries. Thank you for the lurk, Ignis, and thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Hubs was telling me that Brandon Sanderson sells his special edition books at his booth now. So now I have to save up a ton of money so I can go buy them. Makes sense. I mean, like, Comic Cons are fun. Comic Cons are like the best thing ever. If you haven't been to one, almost every major city has them. Just go. Just buy yourself a ticket and go. Go experience it. Go have fun. Look at the schedule. See what's going on. And pick some things that sound interesting and go sit in on the panels and go walk the floor and check out the booths. Like, leave the convention, go have lunch and come back. Like, go take your time. Check out the scene. It's really fun. Like, my favorite thing to do is to go through the list of all the panels and like highlight the ones that I want to go to. And then I put a big old star next to the ones I really want to go to. And I go sit in on those. We'll show up like maybe 15 minutes to a half an hour early for the panels so that we can sit where we want to. I usually try and pick a seat that's like towards the front and off to the side, usually near an outlet. I don't know if they'll let you anymore, but I used to always bring a power strip. I always bring a power strip in my backpack so that I could plug in and other people can plug in too. But I have a big family, so they know that I'm the one that has the backpack with the electronic stuff in it. So if anybody needs power strip, cord, charging station stuff, like I have it. My sister's usually the one with the water and the snacks and etc. But just walking around the convention, just seeing everything that's there, all the booths, all the vendors, all the displays, all the like autograph signing stations for all of the fandoms and all of the costumes. Oh my goodness. So many costumes. Oh, so cool. Cami, thank you for the epic tank, and Zegan, thank you for the epic rogue. I appreciate it. They're not crazy expensive, but Saturday might be sold out if not bought sooner than later. Yeah, because Saturday is when they do the costume contest, and that is super popular. They have to hold it in like the main hall, which is huge. So yeah. And Utah's one of those weird places where they do the Comic-Con from Thursday to Saturday. Most places do it like Wednesday to Sunday. So it gets all squished. Don't even let you bring in fake weapons anymore. Ah, that's a bummer. I love the local art. Yeah. Yeah, Nay will be there. Nay Soji did my emotes. She's my niece, which is why she added Soji to her name. But Nay is going to be there. She does have a booth. She's done a lot of the art for my merch as well. That should be fun. All right, we're going to see if this works. Interesting that it spits out the world seed there. That takes a lot longer than it does for multiverse. Of course, multiverse doesn't give you all of this extra stuff either. That just says starting and then done. World is loaded and ready for use. Excellent. So now, how do we get there? I'm going to guess there's a teleport world. Teleport. Mining. Perfect. Oh my gosh. It lets me tab complete things. Hey! We're here. Very cool. Okay. Hi, chicken. Run, little chicken, run! There's a lot of mobs here right at the start, too. Interesting. Where am I? At 0-0. That's good, too. Did I catch you late in stream? You did. Hi, Jess. How's it going? The light keeps adjusting because all the rain clouds have moved off, and now we've got those big fluffy mashed potato clouds that are going in front of the sun constantly, so sorry about that. Yes, I did call them mashed potato clouds because it looks like a pile of mashed potatoes on an invisible plate, where the bottoms are flat and the top is like all fluffy. I know there's a technical term, but that's the one that's stuck in my brain. Before, we used to have FanX in March and Comic-Con in September, and then they got sued by the Comic-Con that does San Diego, and so they combined it and made it shorter because of COVID. Yeah, that makes sense, and I remember that. San Diego got all uppity about the name and decided to start suing every single Comic-Con convention out there for using the name Comic-Con, even though it was Salt Lake Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. Like, it was Comic-Con, that portion of the name that they decided belonged to them. Friggin' San Diego is all I have to say. Just added it up, would be close to 800 for me to go. Ruby says, drive, Sturm. It's not that far from California. Yeah, so, like, I have family in Southern California. The drive from like Ventura County to Salt Lake City is like 14, 15 hours. It's not that far. It's not that bad of a drive. You can do it in a day. That's further to get to Salt Lake City than from my house. Like driving from my house to Salt Lake City is 19 hours. So we usually, like when Hubs and I do the drive, which we haven't done in a while because flying, when we would do the drive, we would stop in Denver. That's like an 8-hour drive and then another like 9-hour, 10-hour drive. Yeah, I'm in Northern California too. Let me look. Oh yeah, you could totally probably take I-80. Go all the way through Nevada and straight up into Salt Lake. It's a good time of year for it too, because you don't have to worry about the weather. I-80 is worse when it's wintertime. Like all across the entire United States, I-80 in the wintertime, it's hit or miss on whether or not it's going to be closed because of the weather. Best to go south. Amerga, thank you so much for the epic archer on the battlefield. I appreciate it. Okay, now that we're here, let's do world portals. How do portals work? Let's find out. Portals. Another link is automatically created between world name and world name nether. A world name can be any world name. An end portal gateway link is automatically created between the end. Okay, so that exists, but how do we create a portal from one place to another? Just gotta find out. Welcome back, Ignis. Don't let him know. Shh, it's a secret. We drive to San Diego in July and it's gonna be around 13 because stopping for kids. Yeah. Probably with gas, it would be close to the flight price. That's fair, because gas. It depends on your fuel efficiency. You'd have to consider that you'll probably stop every 3.5 hours or so for gas. You could probably do 4 hours, but I like to fill up when I get just below quarter tank. And so for me, that's about 3.5 hours. Gas prices, exactly. And it wouldn't be any more efficient to like rent a electric car or something. Well, gas prices are going up because all of a sudden everybody's like, COVID's over, let's travel. And so demand has gone up, which has caused the price to go up a bit. A little bit. Honestly want to get an electric car now. Yeah, we've been thinking about that for our next car, saving up for an electric one. Ruby Fee, what's a leafy veggie? Kale, lettuce, spinach. You can also do spring greens. Those usually contain like dandelion leaves and stuff. Arugula. I think that's one, right? Now we're gonna go look. Arugula. Yeah, this one. Been looking at Tesla, but they're expensive. Yeah. So do you just give people permission to teleport? It's a portal item. Okay, we're gonna test this. Give portal for the nether. What? So what, we just go like that? Oh my gosh. It's a tiny portal. Can I stand in it? I can stand in it. Hacks! It's not connected to anything, so it's not going anywhere. Okay. Oh my gosh. Whee! Oh, drat. Oh, you could do this. Look, look, look. Shiny floor. Okay then. I did not expect that. It's a calcized portal, right? My gosh, arugula, I used to have that in my salads all the time. It's Ginger Boy stream time. Hi, buddy. You need love. Yeah, you're getting hungry. Oh, Mom has the window open. I can't see. It's a good thing we're calling it a stream in 6 minutes, huh? Because Ginger Boy be hungry. Oh snap! Yep. Okay, so that's portal items. Not expect that. Phoenix beat me to it. I just broke my back by sneezing. Oh, I'm sorry, CK. Bless you. Oh. Well, CK needs more leafy greens for his mod. Leafy veggies is null and I need to add them, but what's leafy? Cabbage usually isn't considered leafy, but for the case of a Minecraft mod, maybe cabbage. Hello. You're gonna make me as sneezy as CK. There you go. If you just do cats, it's only going to give you the current count, but if you do cats plus, it will give you it +1. Now it's time to dead stare the camera. Okay. I don't understand. Like, how do portals work then? Like, I understand the default, like, nether portal and end portal, but what about just getting to and from the world? Is it just letting people use the teleport command? Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Because we don't want people to just be able to teleport. We want them to have to travel to a portal. So to get around that, how would we do that, huh? We could make it so we could use luck perms so that they can only use the teleport command when they're within a certain area. Luck perms would help us do that. Possibly. Actually don't know if luck perms can restrict, if it's got the context ability to restrict, like if you were in, for example, even though we're not using World Guard, if you were in a World Guard region, like you wouldn't be able to use the teleport command unless you were in the region. I have no idea if that's possible. Like, I know you can restrict it per world. Can you restrict it per region? We'll have to install luck perms on this world and start playing with that too. Cat butt. Are you so starving? I do things the hard way, trial and error. Hi. Yes, I know. I love you too, and I know you do and you will starve. But you also being very disruptive. Mom, I'm so hungry. Well, if you also wouldn't scarf and barf your breakfast, maybe you wouldn't be so starved by the time we got to dinner. And he's back. He's like, no, Mom, it's not allowed. And I know if I sit back and I let him climb up here to cuddle me, he's not going to stay there either, because it's not cuddles that he really wants, it's food. Teleporting is so good, really, even just being able to do /home. Well, that's just it. I was thinking about doing a /home command anyway for my Patreon server. At least one for everybody. I just don't know about just being directly able to teleport to the mining worlds. That's where I'm struggling. Like, is that too cheaty? We've also got to consider that there is such thing as teleport lag. Because instead of your player walking and progressing and starting to load chunks in front of them, you're just, bam, suddenly there in the chunks and they need to be loaded now. And so the server gives you priority for that, but it causes a little bit of lag. So, define cheaty. Yeah, that's, I don't know, CK. I don't know if that is cheaty, if that's not enough of a vanilla experience for people, or if we're leaning too much towards modded. Time to dead stare the camera. It's battle time. Zoomies for everyone. I know that pain. Our kittens do this occasionally, yes. I was at the Ender and couldn't hear. I came back to Scarf and Barf love it. Yeah. That's what he does. He eats his breakfast so fast that he throws it up. Oh my gosh, buddy, what is that? Did you hear Dad walking around in the kitchen? Oh my goodness. Alright, GG, y'all. That was easily won. Congrats, Cammy and Fee, on your extra scrolls. We're going to call it good there for streamers. We're also going to call it good there for a stream. We'll do more with the MyWorlds testing when I have less of a pestery ginger boy who's like so hungry right now, even though he doesn't get fed for another 15 minutes. Him's doing a starve. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and you know, chatting and stuff like that, and just exploring plugins and just having a general good time here on our Wednesday streams. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you hang out, I will find someone for you to raid. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good day, night, or whatever it may be for you. And we will see you guys next time. Bye. Real quick, Sturm, thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate that. And just thank you for the 1 itty bitty